This week we talk about additional learnings for FastFoot. We get our ICF element block delivered, and we start doing the basement walls. Please join us. All right, today is Sunday, and no video of us doing the work. It's just pretty boring stuff. Pulled all of the screws out of the stakes and then loosen the stakes, pulling off the boards, the rail boards that support the FastFoot, pulling off these support bars that our help crew came in and added. And then of course all the boards go across the top, and then we'll start pulling off all of the, like I said, all the rails. And that's pretty much it. It's gonna rain later, so we're trying to get the basement done first in case it does somewhat flood. But here's what they look like, obviously with the cement dry, but all those boards have to be pulled off, screws taken out, and we're trying to just get that organized, get it out of the basement. So that's pretty much it for Sunday, unless something changes. That's going to be the update for today. For those of you wondering how the FastFoot held up with the stakes, so here's a close-up. This is one of our splices. I'd recommend doing a longer splice than this, but 2 screws was more than sufficient to hold it. And you can see you get a little bit of bulging here and there with the FastFoot down at the bottom, but it's not bad. All right, so today is, what day is today? Same Monday, right? Monday the 8th. And what we're doing is we're taking off, we took off all of the center boards, supports that went across the FastFoot. We are taking off all of the screws for all of the stakes for the FastFoot, and I'm doing those, so not a lot of live action, but seeing me bend over taking those off is nothing anybody wants to see. So that's what we're doing today. But it's a beautiful day, nice. You can see we made good progress yesterday, and that's what we're going to be doing the rest of the day. So hopefully we'll get it all done today. Okay, so today is Tuesday, and we're closing it up for the day as I jam my knee, and it's hot. But we got all the ICF block, the Element ICF block delivered, and it was just me and my supplier. I ran the telehandler and you push the loads onto there and help unload them. So we got all that delivered. And we've taken all of the boards, all of the rail boards, all of the support boards, all of the stakes have been removed from the basement. So we are ready for our excavator to get in here. He's going to be putting 10 inches of compressed dirt, compacted dirt in the interior of the basement, and then 4 inches of gravel up equal to the top of the footing, and that will be the basement. We also went over to the shed area and we removed all of the bracing, interior and exterior, off of the shed and cleaned up the nubs so that we're ready to start putting up ICF. We'll pick it up tomorrow, hopefully, with the excavator over here and the gravel going into the basement. And we'll come over and do what we need to do to help. We'll probably work on the shed and get some ICF there. And we can also start marking out the walls if we're not in the excavator's way, in particular in the basement. And then next week is when we're planning to actually start getting the ICF walls starting to put up. So we'll be doing the full walls in the basement, and then these walls, we'll probably get 2 rows on all of the frost footings on the slab on grade in the garage up here. So that's it. We'll let you go for today, and we'll pick you up on the next day. Okay, here's another tip for FastFoot, is when you're removing the rails from the plastic that you have stapled in there, don't pull it at full strength towards your face, because what it pops loose, the board just smacks up and hits you in the face. I'm all cleaned up now, but that's what the bump of the lip is from. The teeth and the nose took a beating too, but you know, when you do stupid things, you win stupid prizes, right? So anyhow, don't do what I do. Saturday and today, and it's raining, so this is gonna be really short because it's getting ready to pour. But this is what Peggy and I worked on today. The tap-on screws into the concrete just weren't working. We even got a wider bit because we thought that was the problem. We got shorter tap-on screws. That wasn't the problem. But what we've done is we've used waterproof Gorilla Tape. Let me turn this around. We used waterproof Gorilla Tape, and then we used Gorilla maximum strength caulking, put in these periodic spots, as you can see here. We've done that all the way around the slab on grade footings, and we've done it in the basement where that should be ready to go. We wanted to get some ICF block back down there, but I just couldn't get past. They left their bobcat a little bit in the way, so I couldn't quite get the turn made with the telehandler. But as you can see, we have that all taped up. And it's probably not super necessary. The whole point is it's FastFoot will become part of the waterproof system when the liquid applied waterproof membrane is applied. And it's just helps keep the footings dry from the very, very bottom. That's kind of one of the benefits of it. So wasn't necessary necessarily, but we thought it was a good step, and why not, right? We had the time, a little bit of tape, a little bit of adhesive caulk, and we're good to go. So I'm getting wet, back in the car. Just a quick video update. We've swept off this footing. That's the last one we have to do to tape up and then put in the adhesive to keep it up. Everything else is done. Should help protect those footings. And just met one of our neighbors, nice neighbors, to stop by to say hello, introduce themselves. And I was gonna videotape earlier because it was after I said we had to leave because of the rain. We went and got supplies, and we came back and it was sunny and blue skies. Now it looks like it's threatening maybe some little bit of rain here and there, but that is life in the mountains. They tend to generate their own weather, as my dad always said. Okay, it's Monday, so I'm not going to do a huge end of day video because you should have already seen that we had the excavator come in. They finished out the gravel in the basement. They got the dirt to level in the shed, gravel in the shed. I've moved some ICF block, corner block down there, ready to go. And we have it over here. I did snap a few lines and they didn't look like the lines that the concrete crew, when they did the footers, marked. They didn't look square from my calculations. So I've called in the surveyor to come out and do a few corners in the morning. But we widened this area over here so we can get around to the back. We now have a path to get the telehandler around either direction. And that's it. Peggy and I are gonna head back, and then tomorrow morning we're gonna have the surveyor here to mark those corners again around 8:30. And we'll have an additional crew to get started with laying out ICF in the basement. The afternoon allowed Peggy and I to take a little trip over to Victor, Colorado, and enjoy a good burger sandwich at one of our favorite joints, the Mine Claim 1899 Saloon. What's that? Again? Yeah, the angle one, yeah. This is just a midday update with the crew coming in to help. Made a lot of progress. Sheds coming up, basement walls. Get the ICF forms in. We need to come back through and do alignment, but making progress. Give you an update at the end of the day. All right, so the rain got us again. But I'm gonna just give you here's the end of the day, how far we got. So tomorrow we're bringing in the braces and we're gonna start from there, but that's where we're at. It's wet and there's lots of lightning, so I'm gonna get back inside. Rain days happen to bring out some of the most interesting drivers in Woodland Park. Just a quick video update for today. It is Tuesday, I think. Anyhow, that's where they left off on the shed. I haven't really done much today, but we had the crew here helping. We went and got a ladder last night because the ladder we had wasn't going to work to get in and out of the basement down here. So we went and got a little giant ladder down in Colorado Springs, drove it up the hill, only to bring it over here today and find out that they sold us a broken ladder. So Peggy's down in the Springs right now. She picked up another one, a new one from Lowe's this time. And these guys have been working. I've been running and getting discs and screws and everything else. I really haven't done much of anything today, but they've made great progress. They got the window openings almost done. We got the rebar for the headers and the stirrups still coming hopefully this afternoon. But other than that, the basement walls are just about up, and we're working on these T-sections over here, as you can see. So that one's gonna match up pretty good, but same thing over here and over there. That's where we're at today so far, and I'll give you an end of the day update once we get there. And for our windows, the engineer called for these diagonal pieces of rebar, and then for some reason they called for a stirrup every 4 inches. And number 6 rebar up above, that's that big, thick, giant piece. Actually, there's 2 pieces up there. 2 pieces of number 6, and then stirrups every 4 inches extending past. And then the diagonal pieces, and then we were allowed to do 2 pieces of the fiber reinforced rebar in the sills, so that helped. But here's the basement. We have these 3 windows, and then that window there would be at the basement stair opening, or stairs where they come down from the main floor. Thank you, dear. It is Thursday. This is our number 6 rebar required. Here's where we kind of ended up at the end of the day. We have the frost walls up. This is all the slab on grade portion. The crew is not coming tomorrow. Peggy and I are going to sleep in a little bit, recover a little bit, and then come over and get to work on our own. There's lots to do. We have to put bracing up and so forth. All right. We're gonna walking into the courtyard. And here's the courtyard. This is why when all the neighbors say, "You got any extra dirt?" I'm like, I don't think we're gonna have a lot of extra dirt. Because by the time we fill in these big holes, it's not gonna be as much dirt as you think. Okay, I was gonna, over there. That's the great room. Slab on grade. Dining room back there, kitchen. This bedroom over there, study over here. Okay. That's the garage. This is the front entryway. Front door is that way. We gotta make sure we're not up too far from the front door already. I don't think we are. That tells you how much dirt still needs to come over here because there's 30 inches for frost footings minimum from the bottom of that footing, so we gotta come up 3 feet. So a lot of excavation dirt work to do. That means our driveway is gonna be up here at this level. So we're gonna have a massive retaining wall over here. We're gonna have to build that up. Get up here without killing myself. Oh my God, everything hurts. So I'm falling. Okay. One more attempt. Okay. You can see the dirt level here has to be, we're going to end up being 6 to 8 inches below those windows. That's going to be it for this week. Please like and subscribe. Next week, we're going to be putting up more bracing and more ICF walls as we get ready to pour.
I've worked and toiled, I've breathed the land and sown.